Rush is usually the first monster that teaches you that this game is not here to be friendly. When the lights flicker, it means Rush is already sprinting toward your room like it has somewhere very important to be. Rush always follows the same pattern. It races through all the rooms in a straight line and destroys the lights as it goes. The sound starts very faint, then gets louder and louder, like a train coming down a tunnel. This sound is your warning. To survive, you have to hide in a closet, under a bed, or behind something safe before Rush arrives. The tricky part is that sometimes the lights flicker without Rush, so the game likes to play mind games with your confidence. If you try to be brave and stay outside, Rush will pass through your body and instantly send you back to the lobby. Rush is not a deep thinker. It doesn't try to trick you. It just shows up, runs really fast, and ruins your entire day if you're not prepared. It's basically the welcome to doors monster, reminding you loudly and rudely that survival requires listening and reacting quickly. Ambush. Ambush is like Rush, but much more aggressive. If Rush is the regular storm, Ambush is the tornado. When Ambush spawns, the lights flicker longer, and the sound is sharper and faster. Ambush doesn't just pass through once. It goes back and forth through the hallways multiple times, sometimes 4, 5, 6 times in a row. That means you cannot just hide and stay hidden. If you stay in the closet too long, hide will push you out and damage you. So ambush becomes a game of timing. Hide when ambush comes, step out when it leaves, then hide again before it returns. When you first meet ambush, it feels impossible because it gives you almost no time to think. It shows up fast, moves fast, leaves fast, and comes back even faster. Ambush is like Rush with a bad attitude and no patience. If Rush is a warning, Ambush is the real test to see if you're paying attention or just guessing your way through the game. Screech. Screech is the monster that lives in the darkness and survives on jump-scaring players who think it's safe to wander around without a light source. Screech appears only in dark rooms. You'll be walking peacefully, looking for a key or a door, and suddenly you hear a tiny whisper, "Psst." That little sound means Screech has spawned. If you ignore it or react too slowly, Screech jumps in your face, screams, and takes a chunk of your health. To survive, the trick is to immediately stop and spin your camera around. You must look directly at Screech. When you see it, Screech gets scared and disappears. Yes, Screech is only brave when your back is turned. Once you make eye contact, Screech is like, "Oh, never mind," and leaves. It's also funnier knowing Screech isn't even truly dangerous. It just wants attention. Just like that one kid in class who makes random noises to stay relevant. But if you don't react fast enough, Screech becomes less funny and more painful, so keep a light source and your ears open. Hide. Hide is not a monster you see, it's a monster you feel. Hide only appears when you stay inside a hiding spot for too long. After a few seconds of hiding, the screen begins to darken and shake. You'll see your health dropping and a message basically saying, "Get out." Hide exists to stop players from staying in closets forever. Doors is a game about moving forward, not camping in one place. When Hide pushes you out, it does damage and forces you to continue, so if Rush or Ambush is coming, hide only long enough for them to pass, then get back out. Hide is basically the parental voice of the game, saying, "You've been in there long enough, time to go touch sunlight and make progress." Eyes is a monster that just shows up and stares at you like it knows something about you that you don't want anyone to know. When Eyes appears in a room, the whole area glows purple. Eyes does not chase you. Eyes does not move. Eyes does not talk. It just sits there and radiates emotional damage. The rule is simple. Do not look at Eyes. If you look at it even a little, your health starts melting very quickly. The safe way to deal with Eyes is to turn your camera sideways or down and walk around it carefully. Eyes is like that one person who gets offended by eye contact. Respect its personal space and you'll be fine. Seek. Seek is the tall black creature with one big glowing eye, and when it shows up, the whole hotel feels alive. Before Seek appears, the walls start growing dozens of eyes and the lights begin to flicker. This is your warning that a chase is coming. The Seek chase is one of the most exciting parts of the game. You run down hallways, crawl under furniture, furniture, jump over fallen obstacles, and pick the correct door at every intersection. While you're running, you can hear Seek getting closer and breathing loudly behind you. You don't fight Seek, you don't hide from Seek, you just run like your life depends on cardio. If you take the wrong turn, get stuck behind a table, or forget to crouch, Seek catches you instantly. This chase is all about calm movement and not panicking. Seek doesn't need tricks, it just runs faster than you and hopes you trip. Halt. Halt is the most confusing monster in the game because Halt doesn't chase you, it makes you chase yourself. When the hallway turns blue and the turnaround message appears, it means Halt wants you to move backward, so you walk backward. Then Halt says turn around again and you go forward. You basically go back and forth like you're arguing with the hallway. If you don't turn in time, Halt appears right in front of your face and steals part of your health. Halt is like a boss battle with your own confusion. The fastest way to survive is to move slow, stay calm, and follow the text. Panic equals damage. Confidence equals survival. Figure. A figure is blind, but its hearing is so sharp that if you move too fast or make too much noise, Figure will run toward you instantly. Figure appears in the library at door 50 and at door 100. It does not need eyes. It listens to your footsteps, breathing, and interactions. To survive the library, you must crouch, move slowly, and collect books with symbols. Meanwhile, Figure roams around like a guard who takes his job very seriously. If Figure hears you sprint or touch something loudly, it charges like a hungry dinosaur. In door 100, the environment is darker and more tense. Figure becomes even more alert. The key to surviving Figure is patience. If you panic, you lose. If you move slowly and stay quiet, Figure becomes easy to avoid. Jack is not here to fight you. Jack is here to ruin your mood. Jack appears randomly inside closets or rooms when you least expect it. You'll go to hide from Rush, confident and prepared, and instead of safety, your entire screen suddenly turns red and Jack screams at you like you owe it money. Jack doesn't deal damage, but it does deal psychological damage. The kind that makes you afraid to open closets again. The chance of Jack appearing is extremely low, which somehow makes the scare even worse, because it comes when your brain is calm. Jack's whole purpose is to remind you that nothing in this game is safe, not even the places meant to protect you. It's not a monster you learn from, it's just a monster that says, boo, and leaves you questioning your heartbeat. Shadow. Shadow is even rarer than Jack and does even less. Shadow appears for a split second, flashes on your screen like a glitch, makes a spooky sound, and then disappears without hurting you. It is basically the game's way of saying, just so you know, there are things happening here that you don't understand. Shadow isn't dangerous, it's just creepy. Its entire job is to appear once every 500 rooms, scare you enough to make you blink twice, and then vanish forever like it was never real. If you see Shadow, congrats, you didn't die. But your heart rate definitely increased for no reason. Timothy. Timothy is a tiny little spider that hides inside drawers. You'll be looking for keys, coins, or vitamins, and suddenly Timothy jumps out like it has been waiting to prank you personally. Timothy deals a tiny amount of damage, barely noticeable, but the real impact is emotional. After Timothy, every drawer becomes suspicious. You start opening drawers slowly, prepared for betrayal. Timothy isn't here to kill you. Timothy is here to build long-term trust issues between you and furniture. Cute monster, terrible friend, glitch. Glitch is the monster that shows up when you get separated from your squad or go the wrong way. If you fall too far behind, Glitch teleports you directly to the correct room, but Glitch doesn't do it gently. The screen tears apart, glitch effects explode, your health drops slightly, and your soul leaves your body for half a second. Glitch isn't trying to kill you, it's trying to remind you that the game is moving forward and you need to keep up. It's like the world's most aggressive tour guide. If Rush is danger and Screech is a jump scare, Glitch is the game saying stop exploring, stop wandering, focus. Void. Void is similar to Glitch but calmer. Void only appears in multiplayer runs when one player wanders too far away from the group. Instead of screaming at you, Void simply pulls you back to the team and keeps everyone together. No jump scare, no health loss, no anger. Void is basically the responsible adult in the Doors universe. It just wants everyone to stay together and behave. Snare. Snare is the hidden plant trap found in the greenhouse area of floor 2. It hides in the grass, waiting for someone to rush without looking. When you step on Snare, it grabs your leg and holds you in place while dealing slow damage. The worst part, you are stuck while you hear Rush or ambush approaching, and there's nothing you can do except hope your timing was perfect. Snare is not here to kill you directly. Snare is here to ruin your escape plan. If floor 1 teaches you to listen, floor 2 teaches you to look where you walk, or the grass itself will betray you. A60. A60 is fast, loud, and dangerous. When you enter the rooms, the style changes. Everything is dark, quiet, and echoing. A60 rushes through the hallways just like Rush, but faster. You'll hear a static, buzzing sound right before it arrives. If you hesitate, A60 doesn't give you a second chance. Hide immediately and wait. A60 is the warm-up for what's coming next. A90. A90 is not about speed, it's about your self-control. When A90 appears, the screen suddenly flashes with a giant face and the word stop. The rule is simple, do not move. Even if your finger twitches, even if your character shifts 1 pixel, A90 hits you with heavy damage instantly. You could be mid-sprint, mid-turn, mid-panic, and suddenly the game demands stillness. A90 punishes nervous players. The calmer you are, the safer you are. It doesn't chase, it waits for you to mess up. A120. A120 is slower compared to A60, but more persistent. A120 travels across rooms and sometimes loops back around. If you leave hiding too early, A120 catches you before you can react. This monster rewards patience. When you hear the sound fade away, wait 1 more second. Anyone who rushes dies. Anyone who relaxes wins. A120 is basically the game whispering, take your time, or else.